Hi everyone, Miss Ashley back at Children in the Dell here at Dell Botanical Gardens, and I'm so excited to spend this Saturday with you guys for another great session together. Today we are going to focus on the fairy garden, and if you have not been to the Dell fairy garden yet, you need to make plans to come visit it. I'm going to tour the fairy garden with you and show you all the wonderful things that are back there. But before we tour the garden, I want to make a fairy wand so that our fairy wand can go with us to the fairy garden. So we can make our fairy wand out of many different things. One of the easiest things that we could use is like a stick or a twig that's fallen off a tree outside. Remember, we don't want to go rip anything off. Or if you have something like a bigger stick, you could use a big stick. If you don't have anything like that, a pencil you could use, or even like a straw you could use to make your fairy wand. As long as it is something like a stick, you could build your own fairy wand. Now, I made a fairy wand out of a stick that I found in my backyard, some things that have fallen off plants in my yard. I added some blue string and some beads to my fairy wand. This is the one that I made, but I'm going to show you how we can make one together using many different items around the house or outside. So, once again, I just have a quick little twig, nothing crazy. I do have another piece that had fallen off in my flower bed. So now that it's fallen off, it's okay that I rip it. So I'm going to rip it or cut it if it's hard. And I am able to now use this to decorate. I can tie it around and make just something that kind of hangs off of it, make it a little stick-like. I can weave it through. Many different options. The cool thing with your fairy wand is you make it the way that you want. And to make things attach, just a quick little piece of tape is all you need to make it attach if it's something that's not sticky. Other things that I can add, ribbon or string. If you ask someone at home, I bet there is string or ribbon in your house somewhere. So I'm gonna cut a piece of string off, and I'm actually going to be able to attach this piece that I added to my fairy wand to the wand, and I can put a cute little, tie a little bow, like a little knot, and it kind of looks like a present, so I have that on there. And then I know there are probably a lot of people at home that might have beads or other things to add. Now I did add just a little bit of beads, but I could tie beads, I could weave, I could add so many different things to my wand just by thinking, what do you have at home that maybe has been used a little bit, but you have it sitting in your craft drawer or your junk drawer? What do you have at home that you could use? You might even want to use like Q-tips to add to it. Or you could really think about an old toy even. I did have a beautiful flower on mine, but when I was touring the fairy garden, my flower fell off and I lost it. I just picked it up out of the flower bed this morning. So think about what you have, either outside or inside, and add it to your fairy wand so that way we can go tour the fairy garden together. Hi everyone, it is now time for us to get our fairy wands now that you've made them, and let's head to the fairy forest. Hello everyone, we are at the entrance of the fairy forest. So as you come down the path at Dell, you will notice this sign which will guide you down to the fairy forest. While we are practicing social distancing, the fairies are also practicing social distancing. So make sure that you are mindful of others and follow your path to the fairy forest. As you can see, if you just follow this straight down, you will make your way to the fairy forest. All right, now we're gonna tour the fairy garden. I have my wand ready, and I am so excited to view the fairy garden. And while you're at Dell, you may notice some signs. Just stay on the path that they've created for us, because we don't want to accidentally step on a fairy Take it all in. What do you see? What do you notice? The fairy garden is such a beautiful place to come and visit, especially once you have your wand made. You can join us with the fairies. If you look closely, you may even be able to spot a fairy today. The fairy forest has changed even from last year. So if you were in Dell last year, the fairy forest has grown. Look at that. Does that remind you of anything you might have seen at Dell before? I bet it does. Sometimes you might even need to look up in the trees because there's unique things that you may miss. So, with your fairy wand, think about what could you do with your fairy wand in the fairy forest? Do you think I could convince some fairies to come out and see me? I may have to practice some special things so that I can see some more fairies while here at the fairy forest today at Dell. What are you noticing? I see that they used all of these different things in nature to build their homes. They used trees, they used bark, sticks, twigs. Some of them even added a little color for fun. Where do you think these doors lead? Oh, look at this. The stick ladder. How creative was that fairy? As you can see, there are so many different styles of fairy homes, just like we have different styles of homes in our fairy forest. I hope you enjoyed our tour of fairy forest today, and come visit it whenever you can with your fairy wand.